Hello there, welcome everybody. It's diorama.1 here, and the subject I'd like to try to do is of a North African street. I've had a comment from a subscriber asking to make facades of buildings. So this will be a street of facades. It'll only go back maybe 2 or 3 inches. So when I've cut out the shape of the building, I'll put that on the side there, and that will be the only depth of the building. So you'll be seeing just the front and then a street in front of that, which will be nice and easy because all you've got to do is put sand. The easiest kind of street to do. You don't have to mess around with cobbles. So what we need are the buildings. So I'm using 1/2 inch polystyrene. I think that's going to be the best thing for this. And I've worked out very roughly, as you can see, one largish building there, some steps in between the building, another building here with a dome on the top. For whatever reason, I've no idea, but that's what they have on these buildings. And then some steps in front there leading up to a door, and then just a separate building on the end there. So that's basically the premise of what the buildings will look like. So I'll cut all 3 facades out, put whatever depth I need, because they will be differing in depth to make it look more interesting as well. And I'll mark out a couple of doors on the front there and a window there, and anyway I'll cut the pieces out to denote what the buildings are. So I'll be back in a moment and show you what I've done. So I've cut my buildings out and put a couple of doors on the front there. I've just marked them out in cardboard because they're normally quite an intricate shape of door. Stuck them straight onto the polystyrene, and then with a polystyrene cutter just follow the edge of the cardboard to get the shape of the door like that. It will be quite difficult to do that just with a knife, so handy to have one of these polystyrene cutters. There will be something else there, and there'll be another window there, but I've given it depth, just stuck the side pieces on so that it'll stand up. My staircase is just pieces of polystyrene laid on, and again, because it's 1/2 inch, it would be too big for a step, so I just cut out the steps as it goes down like that. Nice and easy way of doing it. So they're my steps, and again with the front steps there. I've made my dome. I need to make it more round yet, and again, because of this complicated shape, cut it out with my polystyrene cutter. So that's basically the buildings. So I'll set it onto a base, a diorama base, stick it all 3 pieces together, and then go on from there. Not quite sure what, but I'll come back and show you how I've got on. So this is where we're at now. I wanted some 6mm square balsa wood to put in the I think they're extended joists. They hold the floor up, and the ends of the joist extend beyond the front of the buildings, if you look closely. But I didn't have any, so I used 2mm cardboard, a strip 4mm wide, cut that in half, and then doubled up. So then I had 4mm squares. And then all I did, cut it off to 1 inch lengths and then push it into the polystyrene. So now we've got our joist sticking out the front. I made a couple of windows as well, nice and easy. What else did I do? I've gnawed away with a sharp barbecue stick to show the edge of the building decaying. So I've done a few of those in a couple of places there, and there. It won't show up quite until I've painted it all up. But then I gave the whole thing a coat of watered down wall filler. So now I can, I've got a basis now for painting. So what I'll do is use a light coloured wall tile grout, which is what I normally use. I normally use grey or black or terracotta colour, but I'll use a light cream colour, if you like, and give that the surface a coat of that, and then paint around the door frames with a different colour, and then I can put all three things together like that, and that will make up my street. What I've also done is made a base for it. 2 pieces of polystyrene, well, the right size, and then put a cardboard border all the way around, paint that black, and then PVA glue, and then scatter sand. Nice and easy. So eventually that will sit on there like that. No room for my stairs now. Yeah, just a that's going to go there, and this is going to sit forward like that. So that will be the end result when it's all stuck down. So I'll paint or put some kind of finish on the buildings themselves, and yeah, we'll see what happens then. Okay, looking a little bit better now. So what I did was I used this colour grout for the main colour of the buildings, and then where I'd taken away some of the polystyrene to expose the brick underneath, I used a terracotta tile grout for those, and then for the steps, yeah, those two pairs of steps, I used the grey grout. So the only paint I used was a little bit on the door frames, and that's all really. So anyway, there we are. I did put a black wash over the top just to darken it down a bit as well, but it was a little bit too dark, so I had to sponge most of it off. But I think it's turned out reasonably well. So there are the buildings all finished. Closer look at that one. Okay, so we've got the buildings. I've got to stick those on and in place there. What I thought I would do, I cut an old shirt, an old cotton shirt up, so it's quite a flexible material, and just put a piece of barbecue stick on one end, and I shall stick that on there like that somehow, and then there will be another barbecue stick coming up at an angle, and then that will sit on top of the cross piece there like that to give the, like, that's it, that's the shape, like that. But when I've done it, you'll see what I mean. But all it will be is 2 more barbecue sticks coming out at an angle like that, and then I can fix these canopies over the top. Okay, and then I've left this area free. I've made this kind of thing. If you look at buildings of this area, there's normally some kind of extension, like a bay window, if you like. So all I've done, a piece of cardboard and that shape on the side, and just put these 1/8 of an inch wide pieces of panelling all the way around, just to make it look a bit better. I've got to paint this obviously yet, and that will sit on there, like that. Okay, so I'll finish painting this off, put my canopies on. I've got a couple of palm trees that I made some time ago. If you look at my list of videos, you will see how I made my own palm trees. So I'll stick those in, and I've got a few sundry items, barrels and jerry cans and what have you, that I shall add. And then I'll be back in one moment and I'll show you the finished thing. Okay, so finished the project off now. Quite pleased with the outcome. Looks pretty good, I think. For the canopies, I used a barbecue stick, and of course a barbecue stick has a pointed end, so that is pushed down into the polystyrene for 1 inch. So that's in place anyway, with a bit of glue on the end there, and just pushed into this polystyrene. That's quite solid there. And then just hang the bits of shirt over the top to make the canopy. I think that looks okay. Put my bay window, I don't know what you'd call it, an extension to the room. That looks okay. So anyway, there we are. Just an idea. I had intended for it to be showing off my half track, but I think it's a bit too much. I didn't allow enough width for a vehicle on there, so I think it's a good standalone diorama. A very good school project, actually, if anyone is interested. Okay, so I will leave it with you. Have a go yourself. Let me know how you get on. In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel. Almost at 3, as I speak at this moment, not far off 3,000 subscribers. So going up very, very, very slowly, but we are going in the right direction. So please subscribe, click the like button, click the notification bell, most importantly, and also the the thanks button if you are so inclined to buy me a coffee. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Not sure what the subject will be yet, but until then, I will see you then.